welcome to another episode of the Vault Podcast. This is Zan back again. Brent's with us again. Brent, how's it going?
Not too bad, man. You?
Doing pretty good. Today we're bringing you a holiday edition of the show. We're going to talk about Christmas music. I know a lot of people kind of get annoyed with Christmas music. They think maybe it brings back bad memories or memories of shopping in the mall that's just crowded and miserable, and the fact of thinking you have to spend money on everybody or whatever. So I don't know why people hate Christmas music, honestly. Do you have any idea why?
I honestly don't. I enjoy Christmas music. I mean, I can't listen to it all the time, and whenever I was working retail, we did have to listen to a 30-minute long Beach Boys album over and over and over. I mean, it was Beach Boys Christmas, and I was really excited for the first, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then, at the end of, a 9 or 10-hour shift, you're just wanting to blow your brains out.
Yeah,
but that's with anything, so,
There are select Christmas songs I can't stand. I can't stand any of the Mariah Carey stuff. I can't stand the Wham! Last Christmas, which Taylor Swift did a cover of. I can't stand Santa Baby. There's a few other ones I can't stand, but for the most part, especially the really old stuff, man, it just makes you want to snap your fingers and drink some eggnog or something and just have a good time.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So anyway, but before we got to that, you got anything new you've been listening to, whether it's Christmas music or not?
Honestly, not really. I just kind of been listening to whatever sounds good. Gotten kind of back into the latest Volbeat album. The guy's voice used to drive me nuts when I first heard it, but it's actually grown on me. The was it Outlaw Gents and Shady Ladies? It's actually a pretty decent album. I enjoy the writing and the music in it. So
I can't say much about it because I think I've listened to 2 songs from that band, and I was just kind of like, it's nothing. It's not terrible, it's not bad, but it's nothing I'm going to go out and buy just personally. But I would give it another listen,
Well, like I said, his voice took a while to grow on me because it didn't make any sense. I wasn't expecting. I mean, it's like I don't know. It's almost if Danzig and Elvis had a bastard child that they tried to forget about.
I think with them it wasn't so much the singer though. If I remember right, it's been a while since I listened to them, but if I remember right, I just thought the music was kind of boring. It just didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, it's not amazing. I mean, it's not huge, just blaring riffs or real heavy or anything like that. But it's like I said, it grew on me, and and the songwriting's fun. It's all the songs have a little story to them and stuff, and they're fun.
Well, I got not a lot of new stuff. I mean, when you messaged me to get on here, so we were getting ready to record, Pantera, I'm Broken came on, so.
Nice.
Yeah, listen to that. And then last night I found 2 totally awesome bands. I'll probably put them on my picks of the week. Not this time because we're doing Christmas ones, but for our first of the year show, I'll probably save it. But one of them was called Obliteration, and it was like a kind of doom slow speed, but it was like weird death and black metal riffs, but really really slow. I have no idea. It's super cool. And
right.
The other band might be one of the coolest bands I've ever played. It's called Witch Mountain. And
oh yeah.
It's like if you took some doom and mixed it with Robin Trower, and just I can't even pinpoint the female vocals on it. They're just excellent. It's like doom and blues mixed, like the perfect mix you would imagine put together. I even heard one person saying it sounded like Black Sabbath and Jimi Hendrix combined. So.
Yeah, I think I've actually. I mean, it's been a little bit, but I think I've actually heard some stuff from them. The name sounds really familiar. So.
Yeah, I heard one song, and I was like, I got to buy at least a few of their albums. So.
Right.
Anyway, we'll go on to our topic today. We're just going to list off approximately 5 of our favorite Christmas songs. And I'll start it off with an honorable mention because, there's just, you should know us by now. We maybe can't stick to a certain list. We got to go off the rail. We're just too diehard. So my honorable mention, believe it or not, is John Denver, Christmas for Cowboys.
Nice.
Sounds totally cheesy. I actually heard it probably about 2 days ago on one of the local classic country stations. And I didn't know who it was, but I was just kind of intrigued by it because it was kind of a depressing song, actually. It's about, he basically just talks about what Christmas is like for cowboys and how, some people it's about trees and this, but for cowboys it's about rounding up the cattle and the plains, skies, and I'm like, wow, it's kind of depressing, but I'm intrigued. So
That's still pretty awesome. Any John Denver mention's pretty sweet. So
yeah, it's totally unexpected. Like
it is.
I'm not a huge John Denver fan, but I absolutely love this song. So that was my honorable mention. You can go ahead with yours.
Mine's actually it's more of a comedy song, so I don't know that I would classify it as a true Christmas song, but it is set to Christmas music. I heard it like a few years ago, but it just, for some reason, it stuck with me as funny. Bob Rivers and his walking around in women's underwear. I don't know why, but that song just cracks me up, and I always think about it around Christmas.
I think I've only heard that song like one time, but...
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's totally cheesy and just awful, but it's so funny. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird.
All right, so we'll start off with the actual 5 from here on. So I'll start with my 5th, and it's Louis Armstrong's That You, Santa Claus.
Nice.
And it's very borderline Christmas because it actually would fit in The Nightmare Before Christmas, I think, because it's not this, it's kind of like the John Denver song, you know, you expect Christmas songs to kind of be upbeat, feel-good songs, and I think he aims it to be, but it comes across really creepy and weird. Have you ever heard it?
I don't know that I actually have.
He's got this super raspy voice that's...
Oh, yeah.
And it just... I don't know. Everybody needs to check it out because it's one of the weirdest Christmas songs I've ever heard. So that's my number 5. What's yours?
My number 5's not weird. Well, at least not like that weird. But it's actually, I don't know if you've ever heard of Boney M.
No.
They kind of, like, I want to say back in like the 60s and 70s, somewhere around there. I was meant to grab a year on this for sure, and I don't know. It was one of my parents' songs that they always really liked, but it's Mary's Boy Child. And it's kind of almost like like I said, it's like the 60s, 70s kind of R&B, like kind of half reggae type sound. Mm-hmm. It's very, I don't know, it's very unique, which is why it stuck with me. And I mean, they've all got really good voices, and the video's hilarious. Just because, you look at the style back then and everything. I think it was the 70s, because they got like the big hair and all that fun stuff.
Listeners, I'm sure, as you expected, we have not picked one cookie cutter song yet. That's not what we're coming up on some here, but that's just, we've got such a crazy music taste, and we actually go out and find these opinions, not because we're trying to be different, but just because that's the way, we find stuff we like. So. Moving on to my number 4 would be George Strait Christmas Cookies. And I don't know what it is about this song. I love Christmas cookies. There's nothing better than sugar cookies with icing on it for Christmas.
Right.
And every time that I hear this song, that's all I can think of. And I don't mind George Strait. He's not my favorite or anything.
No.
There's something about this song that's just kind of makes you nod your head and good times. So go ahead with your number 4.
I've actually got the old classic that I'm sure everybody knows and is probably sick of, but it's the Bing Crosby and David Bowie's Little Drummer Boy.
Yeah.
I mainly like it. I mean, it's a good song. They're both awesome, but I mainly like it just because you don't expect Bing Crosby and David Bowie to ever do anything together.
Yeah, and it sounds great too.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Just the way that the two totally opposite types of music come together, and I wish more artists would do this just in general, not necessarily even with Christmas music, because like Panopticon, would you ever expect bluegrass and black metal to go together? It does because someone tried it.
Yep.
Too bad more people don't try that. But yeah, that's a really good song. I'll move on to my number 3, and it's you're going to see this group on here twice. Mannheim Steamroller Deck the Hall.
Yes.
The thing I love about Mannheim Steamroller is all these like synthesizers and all this cheese fest stuff. It just is like reminds me of like 80s synth music and like Devo mixed together to make Christmas music. No bug or anything. It's just really awesome. What's your number 3?
I actually have for number 3. I have Silent Night by the Celtic Women.
I can't say I've heard that.
I mean, you know what the Celtic Women and everything that group is? Yeah, it's theirs, and I don't know, I just really like their version. Of course, I really like the Celtic Women, as weird as that may sound.
No, it's not really weird. I just don't know that I've heard them doing a Christmas song.
Yeah, it's actually really, really good. Because I was going through, and there's a couple other versions of Silent Night that I really like. But whenever you get it in more like a group atmosphere, like when you have like a kind of a choir singing it, Silent Night's just amazing. And their version just blew me away the first time I heard it.
All right, man, we're going through this list pretty quick. I'll go on to my number 2, and this is a tie because it's the same song. It's Carol of the Bells, but I've got 2 different artists that do it, and they're both very similar. Again, Mannheim Steamroller, and then David Foster. I'll start with Mannheim Steamroller. Again, similar to Deck the Halls, just powerful synthesizers and these other instruments that make this like electronic sound. It's just really powerful. And actually, this version of Carol of the Bells, I mean, I don't mean to sound, you're seeing a trend here with John Denver, Louis Armstrong, and now Mannheim Steamroller. Some of these songs are kind of darker, and I don't know why that I'm just drawn to the kind of darker, power depressing stuff. It just happens, but it's the traditional Carol of the Bells, but there's a few little things like there's one part where there's like something with the synth that produces some vocals that are just really strange. It's like a robot singing or something.
Awesome.
Some kids that are robots. I don't know. And then the David Foster version is the one that Silver Dollar City actually uses to light their tree with every night. And it's just nothing fancy about it other than it just being really powerful. I mean, both versions of this Carol of the Bells that I picked out, they're both really powerful songs. You can see somebody like punching their fist, taking their fist, and just metal or something to these songs. So those are my tie for number 2. What's yours?
My number 2 is we're going to go a completely different direction, and I know this is a personal favorite of mine as well as yours. I actually have King Diamond's No Presents for Christmas.
Yes.
And honestly, in my opinion, there's not much more that needs said other than King Diamond and a Christmas song.
This is definitely something we're going to put in the picks. So everybody, if you've not heard King Diamond, or if you've not heard King Diamond sing Christmas, this is fun. It's actually very well done as far as like not trying to go overboard with the Christmas stuff, but keeping the Christmas theme. And lyrically, it's just a total cheese fest like any other King Diamond thing. Personally, that's what I think.
Oh yeah, it's great when it's talking about like Tom and Jerry drinking sherry and stuff like that. I mean, come on, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, and the cover too. You've seen the cover of the single.
Oh yeah.
Where he's posing with the reindeer.
Yep.
That's just awesome.
It is.
All right, so we'll do our number 1, and kind of in vein of what you just talked about. My number 1 is "Get Into the Spirit" by Halford, which is Rob Halford's solo group, and I would say this probably even more so than the King Diamond song. This doesn't sound like a Christmas song at all. But if you start, I'm not a big lyric guy, but the lyrics just are there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And on this one, it's just there, and it's just totally awesome. It sounds like an Iron Maiden or Judas Priest song, but yet he's singing about Christmas and telling people to get into the spirit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's my number 1. Go ahead with yours.
Mine is we're gonna do a complete 360 on this. My actual all-time favorite Christmas song is Josh Groban's version of "Oh Holy Night."
Yeah, that's way off.
And I know I've probably lost some, like man points here or whatever, but there is a power in his voice when he's singing that song that is unreal.
Yeah, I agree. He has. It's soft at times, but when he really starts belting it out, again, you just kind of want to clench your fist and shake it. You know?
Yeah, the first time I heard it, I think I actually literally stopped everything I was doing and just listened to it, especially there towards the end when he really hits that part. I was like, holy cow, this guy's amazing.
What's amazing is that some guy's vocals can stop a person in their tracks,
Well, right, because usually I'm a bigger fan most of the time of a lot of women's versions of the songs and stuff. And now for that one, I don't know that I've ever heard it performed better.
Yeah, and that goes back to the power of music. You can check out our last, actually, I think it was 2 podcasts ago. We were talking about how music is just powerful, and we've given you like 4 Christmas examples of powerful music, and nobody expects to find that in Christmas, but we sure did.
That's right.
So this will be our last show till the new year. Hope everybody has an awesome holiday season, and make sure to buy somebody some music. Don't buy them iTunes cards. That's kind of a cop-out. Try to, talk to somebody, find out what kind of music they like, and go to a thrift store, go to a record store, go online, and maybe try to pick them up something they've never heard of they might enjoy for not very little money. So that's all I got to say. You got anything to say to close out the show?
I was just gonna add, talk to them, and if you got to go to Best Buy, find a genre they like. Look up online, find something popular in a new genre or something for them. Or if there's something you really think people should really, really like. I mean, you may not want to buy your grandma, latest Cannibal Corpse album, but just try to give somebody the gift of music because you never know what it could turn into for them.
Yeah, like you said, you don't. I mean, you got to use your brain on what somebody likes. Like I can actually from starting to like a lot of the older country music and a lot of the 50s and 60s rock, I can actually relate with a lot of older people now. So if we start talking, like say somebody likes classic country, go out and buy them look for the George Strait Christmas album. That's just an off the top of my head example.
Yep.
But yeah, just don't, kind of ease them into the genres. Don't force anything on them. Nobody's gonna want that. So.
Right.
All right, that's gonna be it. Happy holidays, everybody. Keep rocking.
Have a Merry Christmas, guys.